Hello, welcome on this freezing cold morning. Today we're going to be reading some Am I the Butthole posts, so get yourself a blanket, snuggle in, and stick around if that's your kind of thing. Okay, so this first one might not be for you if you are sort of squeamish, but we will continue, and if you carry on listening, on your head be it. Am I the butthole for keeping a mother from burying her placenta? Okay, that is a very odd title. Throwaway account because I've been a long time lurker but never posted myself. Also, English isn't my first language. Me, F, and my boyfriend, both late 20s, live in a house with several apartments. We have a group chat to communicate just in case of emergencies or urgent house stuff, but I don't really know any of them. So today, one of our neighbours posted on this chat saying her and her boyfriend's, both mid-30s I guess, fridge had broken, and if any of us had some spare space in our freezers to store their frozen goods until they get a new fridge. Very normal. I kind of don't like where this is going, though. I have a feeling on what they're going to ask next to put in that fridge. Ew. We hadn't lived in the building for long, and I wanted to prove myself as a good neighbour, so I offered that we could keep some of their things in our freezers, thinking we're talking frozen peas, french fries, maybe some meat, as you would. When she showed up at my doorstep, they handed me a couple of frozen fruits and a large plastic container. I wanted to be polite, and we were making some small talk when she casually mentioned that the container held her placenta they were going to bury at some point, but haven't gotten around to do it in the 5 years since their child was born. I mean, it's fine if you want to keep that. I understand that people do it for cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, just because sentimental, I guess. But not everyone's cool with that, so don't just hand your placenta in a little Tupperware box to a stranger. I feel like that should go without saying, but here we are. I was completely gobsmacked. It's not that I'm in any way appalled or disgusted by human, especially female body functions, and I support women handling their pregnancy, childbirth, and placenta however they see fit. Yeah, like I said. But standing in my doorway holding the placenta of a woman I barely even know just felt weirdly intimate and strange. Yeah, what a weird experience that must have been. I'm just putting myself in your shoes right now, and I just genuinely think you could have knocked me over with a feather if someone turned up at my door with a fucking Tupperware box of placenta. Okay, gather myself. Ooh. I was also taken aback by how nonchalantly she just handed me her organ in a Tupperware container without even discussing it first. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So, I told her that I would be happy to store all their food items for them until they got a new fridge, but that I was highly uncomfortable with keeping her placenta, that she would have to make other arrangements, and handed her the container. Yeah, she didn't take it well and argued that there's no difference to the frozen foods, that the placenta was safely wrapped, that it shouldn't bother me, and that I should hold up to my promise and be a good neighbour like I offered because they're relying on me. Yeah, but it's not just like you're handing over a joint of beef, is it now, love? Well, all of this is kind of true. I still didn't feel comfortable storing her placenta next to my food or in my possession at all, for that matter. Yeah, and the thing is, you've got to think that this is an organ that has come from this woman. You don't know her medical history. You don't know if she has any diseases, any conditions that could be dangerous and hazardous to you. Obviously, I'm assuming she doesn't, but you also never know. So you're probably not going to want to put a piece of her body in your freezer. Also, that's going to look really dodgy if something went down and for some reason, you know, police decided to come and look around your house for something or other. I don't know, the neighbours went missing and they're checking on the neighbours and, oh, you've got a part of her body in your freezer. No. She took all of the frozen foods out of my hands and stormed off, loudly complaining that I was shaming a mum for a perfectly normal and healthy body function, that I'm a bigot, shitty neighbour, and basically bad person, I'm guessing, for not helping them out in the time of need. Yeah, of course it's a normal bodily function, and of course you're quite welcome to keep it if you want to, but you can't show up with it in a tub that you would keep a lasagna in at a stranger's house and ask them to put it in their freezer. How is she not understanding that? Wow. When I told my boyfriend, he was on my side, but some of my friends think I should have just sucked it up, that the placenta wouldn't have even touched my food, and that I'm being weird about it for no reason, and that I'm robbing parents of their chance to perform a meaning ritual. I'm now debating whether I should go apologise to my neighbour and offer to store her placenta in our freezer. Am I being the butthole? Oh, this was quite the post to start off with, really, wasn't it? No, you're not. You're not the butthole for not wanting to keep someone's possibly hazardous materials in your freezer. I would feel really weird about having a stranger's organ in my freezer next to where I keep my ice cream. No, you are not the butthole, and anyone that thinks you are is really weird. It's perfectly okay to keep your placenta and do whatever the friggin' hell you want with it. Just don't bring strangers in on that, because that gets really odd. Moving swiftly on, I'm still shocked by the last post, I must admit. Am I the butthole for going to prom with my friend instead of my boyfriend? So I, 17F, got into a long-distance relationship with my boyfriend, 19M, over this summer. He lives in Italy and I live in America. He's a very stoic person and doesn't really excite easily, which is why this situation surprised me so much. Just for some context, in the middle of my junior year of high school, I transferred to online school because I was dealing with severe mental health issues, and I knew being in that place wasn't helping. I hope you're feeling better, OP. Luckily, my school is a charter school and they have an entire online branch that students can switch between at any time if needed. So naturally, I start my senior year online as well. During this, I meet a boy, 17M, in my government class who asked me about the posters of various K-pop artists I had on my wall behind me. And slowly we started partnering up on assignments and eventually become friends. I met him in person eventually when I had to go back to the previously mentioned school for senior photos. We talked more and officially became friends, exchanging social medias with one another when we met again for SATs. Oh, or is it SATs? Because I'm assuming this is in America, and I know you guys say it as SATs. We call it SATs, and our kids sit them at year 6, at about the age of 9 or 10. I don't know if they have any later on. Haven't got to that stage yet with mine, but yeah, we call them SATs, so SATs for you. A while later, I get a message from him where he asked me if I'm going prom. I told him no, because at the time I didn't really see a reason to, because my only few friends had either graduated or moved to another school. We talked about it some more and I decided to go since I had made friends again. He then asked me to be his prom date. Immediately I knew there was no ill intent behind him asking. He had a crush on someone else and he knew I had a boyfriend, because I openly talked about him with him, and to others in a group chat some online students were in. So I say yes, and that's the end of that. Sounds innocent enough. I decided to inform my boyfriend about this, assuming he would be fine with it because of the circumstances. So I tell him everything in a voice message and leave it to him to respond to. A few minutes later, I get a message from him saying, "Why would you even think to ask me this? You basically just asked me to let you cheat." Whoa. This confused the hell out of me because I explained to him very thoroughly that my friend and I have no feelings for one another other than platonic, and we were just going as friends. I ask him why, and he tells me he doesn't want another man seeing me all dressed up for him, which took me even more by surprise, since 1, that's not really how it works, 2, I know this isn't really a cultural difference thing because he told me his high school had some sort of prom formal event. Yeah, no, that's I don't like that terminology. I don't want another man seeing you all dressed up. What? It's a flipping dress. You're putting on a bit of makeup. That's always a big red flag for me if anyone ever says, or if I've ever been dating a guy and they've gone, "Oh, I don't want you dressed up where other guys are." Immediately, I'm just like, "Nah, see you later," because I know where that's going. We all know where that's going. And if you don't know, if you're in a relationship and your boyfriend says that to you, or you're dating and they say that to you, run for the hills, because you've got a whole shitestorm coming ahead of you with that guy. Believe me. So we start arguing, but ultimately he tells me to call off the date or he wants to break up with me. And now I have to tell my friend that my boyfriend doesn't want us going together, which is going to be hard because I already said yes. But part of me wonders if maybe I'm in the wrong. If it made my boyfriend react like this when he doesn't usually, maybe I shouldn't have said yes in the first place. I don't know. No, there's nothing wrong with having male friends. We need to, as a society, get the frick over this whole thing of guys can't be friends with girls, girls can't be friends with guys. They can, if they're decent people. And if you're with someone and you think that they can't be friends with guys, you must think that they're not a decent, trustworthy person. In which case, why are you with them? And vice versa. If you're going out with someone and they don't trust you to be a decent person, why are you with them? They don't trust you, they never will, and your life is going to be miserable and controlled. We need to get over this whole thing as a society of stopping friends being friends. just because they have different parts in their trousers. It's ridiculous. Also, might I just say, why are we getting so bent out of shape over someone that lives halfway across the world? I really don't get that. If a guy is making your life an issue and he doesn't even live on the same continent as you, get rid. Anyway, edit. Something I should have clarified. My friend didn't use the word date when asking me to go with him. I just decided to use the word to make writing this easier. Edit 2. I see some of you have some concerns about our relationship being online, so let me clarify a few things. I've seen his face on multiple occasions. What? I, for some reason, thought you had met up at least once. We talk on FaceTime almost every day, and I have gotten multiple confirmations that he is the age that he says he is. Also, about me going to see him next spring, I will be 18 by then, but regardless, my mum is still coming with me. I'm not going into a foreign country where I don't speak the language alone. Don't worry, very smart. This will be my last edit until I have an update. I couldn't find an update, by the way. There might have been one, couldn't find it. Bin him immediately. You don't need to be controlled by someone who doesn't even live on the same country as you. Put him in the bin. You haven't even met him face to face, and you are letting him tell you who you can hang around with at prom? No. Don't do that. I know, obviously, you're young and very naive, but take it from someone who's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, and been the mug for people. Don't do it. He will just control you and take the absolute piss. Don't do it. Trust me. Next up, am I the butthole for not inviting my best friend's boyfriend to a 6-year clear of cancer meal? I, 19M, suffered from cancer while I was only 12. I had a lot of people there for me, but the one who was there for me the most was my best friend, 19F. She was by my side the whole time. Whenever I had to go to the hospital for chemotherapy treatment, she was always there messaging me, making sure I was okay. Oh, bless her. When I arrived back in school, I had joined a drama club, which was after school and lasted about an hour and a half. There was one guy in this club that I did not get along with at all. I'm gay and have known for a while, and after a month of being back at school, I had told my closest friends and they were all supportive. But like everything in high school, word got round to other students, and to be honest, I didn't mind it all too much. But this guy in the club found out and was extremely homophobic towards me, telling me I should leave the school because no one would want to talk to me anymore, and started bringing up hurtful stuff about my cancer I had not long beat, such as it should have taken your life, and it's a shame you beat it. What a horrible, hateful person. Disgusting. Fast forward to now, we are celebrating 6 years of me being clear of it. We have a meal every year to celebrate. It usually consists of me, my family, my boyfriend, 22M, who I've been with for almost 2 years, and my closest friends. My best friend started dating this guy 5 months ago, and I found out a few weeks into their relationship it was the same guy who said all that hurtful stuff to me 6 years ago. I spoke to her about it and agreed to give him another chance as she seemed genuinely happy with him, and it had insisted he had changed. Me and him still don't get along, but I don't interfere with their relationship, as she is the happiest she has been for a while. If I knew that some dirty little get had been calling my friend all those horrible things just because they're gay, I tell you what, I wouldn't be with them, that's for sure. Probably wouldn't do anything nice to them either. What the hell is your friend thinking? Is she really a good friend if she's going to go and do something like that? She then asked a few days ago if he could come to the meal that I was holding for my 6 years clear. I was pretty hesitant and told her that as much as I am happy for her being with someone she likes, he was awful to me in high school and I can't forgive him for what he was like. Don't blame you. I also told her that he still doesn't like me, as he has made that obvious about a month ago when he said something to another close friend of mine about me and my boyfriend. Yeah, no, why on earth would she ask you that? I really don't like your friend right now, I'm not gonna lie. She is now calling me childish and started saying that I should just forget about it. She also said if he doesn't come, she isn't going either. Well, good riddance. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to forget everything and let him join in the meal or deny her request of him joining and deal with the consequences of her not joining either. So am I the butthole for not forgetting what he had done and deny my friend's request of him joining? No, your friend is so wrong for asking for that. So wrong. Am I the butthole for wanting my wife to help more with household chores? I, 32M, have been married to my wife, 30F, for 5 years. We both work full-time jobs, but I feel like I'm carrying more of the weight at home. I do most of the cleaning, cooking and yard work, while she often gets home later than I do and then just relaxes. I'm not asking for her to do everything, but I feel like it's becoming unfair. I've tried to bring it up a few times, but every time I mention it, she gets defensive and says I'm trying to control her or that she's tired from work too. The thing is, I'm tired as well, but I still make time to keep the house running. I just want her to pitch in a bit more. I've even offered to hire a cleaner, but she insists it's not necessary and that we should just manage on our own. I'm starting to feel really frustrated, but don't want to come off as a complaining too much. Am I the butthole? No, and the thing is, if she's saying, oh no, we can manage it on our own, well, then she has to chip in to do the managing of it on your own. If she doesn't want to do it, then getting a cleaner makes sense. Just say to her, either you pick up more of the slack or we get a cleaner, because I'm not doing it all by myself anymore. Like, it's always going to cause a whole lot of resentment when one person's doing everything and the other person is just doing, going to work, coming home, and then doing nothing. It should be equal all the time. Otherwise, it's going to cause huge rifts in your relationship. I would just hire the cleaner personally and just not even give her a choice in that one. Am I the butthole for giving my sister 30 days notice per the rental agreement she gave me? So, my friend F23 and I, F22, found a house that gives us our own space. I currently rent from my sister a studio apartment. My sister, F26, has been talking about wanting to move with her boyfriend once his lease is done by next year. Her boyfriend lives an hour away. She offered to take me with her and let me rent again, but I'd be an hour from work if I went. And the traffic is bad there, so it would be even longer. We applied for the application, got the lease last night. So we told my sister last night. She gets mad at us and says we lied to her about looking to move. I never lied to her and informed her that if there was a house that had the space I want, I'd pick that over moving with her, and told her I was looking at houses in the area with my friend. She's claiming we screwed her over and are leaving her with the responsibility of taking care of bills she can't afford. That kind of sounds like a her problem. You don't have any obligations to stay living there if you don't want to. She makes a lot more than me, which is why the house with more room makes more sense. I'd be paying less for more than I have now. She is now being passive aggressive and giving us silent treatment because she feels we did her wrong, but we gave her 30 days notice as any normal roommate situation would be, which is more than enough, in my opinion, and are paying extra rent to make up for how long we'd stay before having to move. I truly wonder if I've done something wrong and hurt her, because I love my sister a lot. Am I the butthole? No, you're not the butthole. You've given 30 days notice like you would in any other sort of rental agreement that you would live in. So no, absolutely not. Your sister's just mad that now she's going to have less money, I think. And I think also she's not liking the fact that you're not going to live with her anymore if you are quite close. But at the end of the day, she's just going to have to suck it up. There was going to come a point when you'd move on and move out anyway, wouldn't there? Say if you met someone or something, or if she wanted to start a family with her fella. It would be inevitable at some point anyway. She's just going to have to deal with it, I'm afraid. And I think that's going to do it for today. I have some bits I now need to go and rush out and do, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to leave it there. A little bit of a shorter than I would have liked today, but never mind. If you did enjoy and you made it to the end, first of all, thank you very, very much. And if you would like to give me a like and a subscribe, I would appreciate that a lot. It helps me out in their algorithms, and it means you can find me easily to come back for more, because I'm going to be posting every single day. So thank you very much again, and I will hopefully see you soon. Goodbye.